This is Gashi's Kaman TV. Welcome to our Monday show. Na leo nataka kuongea about the Huslers funds, the so-called Huslers funds. Kwa sababu I would call it hot air, what the Supreme Court judges described as hot air. So the Huslers funds is hot air. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because it is none other than Emilio Mwai Kibaki who came up with Youth Enterprise Fund, and it was always there. The youth were free to go for loans. They were there to go for loans with low interest. I think it was 8% by then. Again, when Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta took over the reign of leadership, alikuja na the youth fund. The youth fund has always been there, and what he did is that I think he only dropped the name enterprise and we remained with the youth fund. Even the women funds has always been there. So, and the women of this country have always been free to get those low interest loans. Then comes William Samuel Ruto with the Huslers funds. So this is just the change of name. So what he's doing, he's just changing the name. Otherwise, he's talking about the Youth Enterprise Fund. He's talking about the youth funds. He's talking about women fund. So what he has done, he has brought women funds and youth enterprise funds together, and that is what he's calling the Huslers funds. And the objective is to ensure, is to make hustlers feel that he's caring about them, he's caring about the government, he's caring about their welfare, sababu ya vile maisha yalivyo. So kile ambacho tunaweza kusema, according to William Samuel Ruto, yesterday he said that by December the youth funds will be there, the hustlers fund will be there, and that is 50 billion. Now he also said that he made it very clearly, it is not free money, it is loan, and it will be paid with less than 10%. When you hear when you hear William Samuel Ruto saying that the loan will be charged less than 10% interest, it means to be something like 9, and it can't go below 8 because it can't be 5. So this is what the Youth Enterprise Fund and the women funds were giving. So there's no difference. Na kile ambacho tunaweza kusema ni kwamba hili ni pigo kubwa sana kwa mahustlers. It's a big blow to hustlers. Yes, the funds will be there, but we are saying it is not free. You know, the hustlers were expecting free money. They were expecting to get money that they will not pay, or they will pay after many years. But what we have here is just like what has always been given by microfinances. We have always been having microfinances. We have always been having banks. We have always been having SACCOs. So there's nothing new. Only that the funds has changed the name. The other thing is that the hustlers are feeling betrayed. Yesterday, when some Boda guy, I was given a lift yesterday by a Boda guy, and we had a discussion about the same. And it's like the Boda guys are feeling that William Samuel Ruto is betraying them very fast. And the feeling of betrayal is all over, especially in the mountain and even in, I think in most part of Nairobi. Utapata kwamba watu wanaona kwamba wamesalitiwa na serikali ya William Samuel Ruto, kwa sababu what we have is that they were expecting free money because they were that is what was promised. And the other thing is that the ability, you know, not many people can afford to get these loans and pay. Some of them, if you ask them how they get the funds, they don't know, because some of them they don't know how to approach it. Again, if you ask them, the businesses and many businesses are not doing well, and if the businesses are not doing well, then people have all the reason to get worried, because even those people who are in business are not making profit. So you tell somebody to go for a loan, get a loan, and continue with start a business which you don't know whether is even going to generate income. Again, he is telling them to form groups. And who is going to organize these people to form groups? Yes, you know, we have the SACCOs, as he's saying, because various people have their own SACCOs. And surprisingly, what I think William Samuel Ruto need to know is that some of these SACCOs give loans to their members. And people are usually very free, are usually very comfortable. They like it when they are getting loan from their SACCOs because they are members of the SACCO. They own this SACCO. Ni jambo ambalo linawafurahisha sana. And then telling them to form cooperatives. Yes, it's a good idea. But now when you look at it, who is going to manage these cooperatives? Who is going to organize these people to form cooperatives? what is likely to happen is that the Huslers funds is likely to experience a lot of corruption. In Kenya, there's nothing that can happen without kickbacks, without corruption. And what is likely to happen is that we are likely to get people dishing out money to their friends, to their girlfriends, to their boyfriends, and so on. And it will be very, very interesting. So this thing is likely to collapse very, very soon. And the people who are likely to benefit most is not the hustlers. It is the political class. Because they're the people with the influence of this happening. They can say to somebody, go and take a loan. And on my name, you bring the money. After you bring the money, I will give you something. Because, banks are giving loans at very high interest. And they are scaring many people. And what is likely to happen, people with means, because according to William Samuel Ruto, even individuals can access these loans. So I can see a situation whereby politicians and business people who are very, very rich, they're going for these funds, and it will be very, very interesting. Again, this Hustlers funds is likely to be dogged by bureaucracy, and bureaucracy is one thing that hinders development in any country. So bureaucracy must be there, and many people don't want bureaucracy. People will always look for shortcuts. Hakuna mtu ambaye anataka kupitia njia ndefu na inaweza kuwa vigumu sana. Again, when it comes to these groups, most of them are unregistered. So the question that beg answers is, if for example a member dies, what is going to happen? If for example a member decides to run away, who is going to pay these loans? Because it will be very, very interesting to see how unregistered groups are going to access these funds. Because if you look at the number of groups that are in Kenya, I think many people are in groups. Many people are in various groups, but most of them are amorphous. They are not registered. Again, when it comes to bad debts, because I expect there will be so many bad debts, Kenyans are not very good at paying loans. And that is why you find so many of them in CRB, a Credit Reference Bureau. And what is going to stop? What is going to make them pay? If there are about 4 million Kenyans under CRB, and how do you expect them? So what is going to change? I don't see much changing. Again, this is something that will be dogged by the issues of transparency and accountability. Many people are not transparent. Many government institutions are not transparent. Many government workers are not accountable. And this is another challenge I can foresee facing this enterprise fund. Again, the issue of triborism will be there. Kwa sababu unajua, triborism in Kenya is so much entrenched kwamba utapata ya kwamba lazima uangalie mtu ametoka wapi, anafanya nini, na utapata kwa sababu pesa hizi they are supposed to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. What is likely to happen? The gap is likely to widen, because when take a place like Kiambu is far much ahead compared to other counties. So when you have many youth from Kiambu going for the funds, then utapata kwamba the gap between Kiambu and say Northeastern, because you find many people in Northeastern are not likely to go for those loans. So what is likely to happen is that the gap between Kiambu and say a county like Turkana is going to widen. So in the final analysis, we are likely to have a class whereby we have some people who are very rich, some other counties are not doing much. Though in the final analysis, I would say it's a good idea if it is used in the right manner. But in a country like ours, where everything goes, everything is possible, I don't see the youth funds going far. I don't see them Hustlers funds achieving its intended objectives. So if you're here for the first time, you can subscribe to our channel. Here we analyze politics, we analyze trading issues, both locally and internationally. And may you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.